All right, it is Tuesday, as I said earlier this morning with Darren, and I have not been over here with you in months.
I know. It's good to be over here. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It is a nice Tuesday. It looks like there's some clouds and the sun's coming out, so.
I know, it looks so nice out there right now, and if you look at Michigan State really quick, look how nice it looks.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that. Nice. It's a good way, because, we've had some gloominess for weather and all of that, so it's good to have a nice positive Tuesday. And another positive, of course, is Studio 10, where we love to bring you amazing people and places and businesses in our community and give them a nice highlight to showcase all of the wonderful things that they're doing. And today on Studio 10, of course, so it's senior picture season.
Yes.
Wild
to think about, but yes.
Yeah, so I know a lot of people do use the summer to take your senior pictures. Great. But also, too, if you're busy with vacations, it can be hard to schedule. So now is a good time to take senior pictures. So Claudia talked to a local photographer about some tips for that. But this photographer also knows that it's not just senior picture season. It's also spooky season.
My favorite.
Yeah. So there are photo shoots for folks, for couples, for best friends, where you can kind of dress up in some spooky wear. So they're super cute.
I love that.
Yeah, because it's just a good way to celebrate the season, celebrate each other and your friends, and make a fun memory. So who doesn't love a photo shoot? So be sure talking a little bit about that.
Do you remember your senior pictures?
Oh, of course, yes.
Do you remember, like, your favorite one?
Yeah, a few. I do remember, like, not, I can't believe I didn't care about it as much as I should have. Like, now I have to do my hair and makeup every day. I remember, like, my mom texted me, "Oh, Nicole, you gotta get ready." And I'm just, like, lolly-dallying. But, yeah, no, I remember getting the outfits, and, yeah. I remember, like, we do plan some of them, but other ones where I'm like, "Oh, hey, look, there's, like, a giant turtle statue. I'll lay on it." Like,
you lay on a turtle statue?
Yeah, very, very classy. But anyway, so it'll be a lot of fun to do that and talk a little bit about that. Of course, it's also Tuesday, which means it's Take Me Home Tuesday, so we're going to have the Capital Area Humane Society here to tell us a little bit about some furry friends that they have up for adoption. And we'll kind of talk a little bit, too, about their great grand opening of the new adoption area. We highlighted it last week. So it's good to kind of give it a follow-up, see how it's going with that. And then it's not only Tuesday, but it's also National Video Game Day.
Ooh.
And I never got, well, it's funny because I'm the oldest, and the girl, my mom's like, "Oh, you can't have video games growing up." But I've still learned to appreciate them throughout the years because I would play them at my friend's house. But anyway, there's been a huge evolution of video games.
Oh, yeah.
From Pong to everything that you can play now. I can't keep up.
It's a actual sport.
Yes, it's a sport. So we're going to be kind
Crazy.
of diving through that history and that evolution, and Justin will be joining us because I know Justin understands video games a little bit more than us. But yeah, so it'll be fun to kind of talk through that evolution and see how far we've come and what the top games are for Michigan.
Ooh.
So it's going to be it's interesting. So we're excited for that.
I just posted a question in our chat. What's your favorite video game of all time?
Yes, and that is what we asked our viewers too. I've been getting some Pong. I've been getting some Pac-Man.
What was yours though?
Okay, so I kind of liked Animal Crossing, so it's not really like a game.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
So Animal Crossing, Super Mario, Smash Bros.
Okay.
I do not have hand-eye coordination. Or like Mario Kart. I would always be like trying to distract people in time.
Good. That's good. It's a good plan.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll be going through that, and then also too, Mom to Mom Nutrition is stopping by, Katie, to talk a little bit about packable and portable lunches.
Ooh.
I
love that.
Yeah, exactly, and kind of making it so like a lot of us are grazers, a lot of us are snackers, and that's okay. Embrace it. So she'll show us how you can do that for kids and us adults, as well as our adventures with Andy. We're going into his garden, and he has had quite the harvest of cucumbers, and he's talking a little bit about what you can make with cucumbers, the benefits, and all that jazz.
And he's brought none in.
Oh, he's brought a ton in for us.
Well, Is he afraid of the newsroom or something?
I think so.
Oh. Well,
No, I've made lots of salads with this cucumbers.
okay.
Actually, yeah, I made cucumber water the other day for the party, or the bridal party I was in, yeah.
I love cucumber water.
So, anyway, tune in for all of that. Lots of fun.
Definitely lots of fun. I can't wait to see everybody's take on video games. Claudia's pretty into video games too, isn't she?
Yeah, I think she is. So she'll be probably better at that than us.
You guys should have a competition.
Yeah, an actual competition for sure. But for today, yeah, we're going to be by the green screen with like all of the backgrounds of the different kinds of video games. So, yeah, we'll see. Maybe it'll be Mario in real life.
It's so cute.
It's Mario. Okay, we're done here.
All right, well, here's where you can stay connected with Studio 10 online on Instagram. They are always posting really fun photos and videos on their Instagram. And if you have any questions, maybe you just want to reach out to them, studio10@wilx.com. And you can always subscribe to the channel where you can get all of the clips that you may see on Studio 10. Now I have to fix this because you are much taller than Nicole is.
Only a little bit. You know, it's funny. We've had a couple different times on air throughout. Nicole and I have both been here for a while at News 10.
Sorry, this looks weird.
Yeah, no, it's all good. We used to work together on the weekends doing all sorts of things. And there was a day she forgot to step on the box that she stands on, and it was really funny. I don't know if we ever went on air like that, but she was getting ready to jump on, and she and I are probably like a foot and a half difference in height or something. So that was pretty funny. Pretty humorous showing up.
I know, she was like, my box is way down there.
I know.
Because normally Taylor's here, and Taylor has a box out. But anyway, we are now joined by Justin Bradford from the First Alert Weather Team. And we were just talking about how the clouds kind of broke up a little bit from this morning. It was really kind of cold and cloudy and dreary this morning, left over from last night, but now it looks pretty nice.
And it's a beautiful day, but funny enough, the small chance for a shower is still in there this afternoon. I think a lot of us are going to avoid it, and if it does come through, it's going to be very brief, very quick. We're talking 5 minutes or less of very light rain, nothing heavy, nothing even moderate really to that extent. But you may notice a few darker clouds still fluttering by, although we're going to get a lot more sunshine this afternoon too than we had this morning. And so that kind of dreary start's kind of faded away. But the rain chance still there, at least for probably the next 3 or so hours. But again, I think almost everyone's going to stay dry anyway. It's just that a few folks might end up seeing it. We got a satellite radar view in a moment to look at that'll show you where they are.
I mean, I love how green everything looks right now, though, which is thanks to some of that recent rain. Yeah,
and it's really nice outside. And really, when you have these comfortable conditions, you're able to just kind of tell with the freshness in the air how pleasant it is out there. Now, the US 127 Skycam, which we're looking at now on that Meridian Company Skycam network, has got us at 67. But humidity's come down. We've had a northwest breeze all day, and it'll be a northwest breeze tonight. And so that'll bring in even drier and cooler air. We expect the numbers to be in the 40s overnight for each of the next couple of nights. And so it'll be a little crisp to wake up the next few mornings. After that, we'll try to get back into the 60s on the next few afternoons. But it's likely we don't see 70 degrees between now and Friday. And so that's kind of where we're at. Here's a satellite and radar view. And so here are the little, and as I mentioned, they're very brief. Those little specks that you see kind of popping up here and there with some of these cloud tops. And, you know, with the dry air we've got undercutting, some of this is maybe not even reaching the ground, but what is coming down really is almost like a very faint drizzle or mist. This is not anything that will be a problem for anybody, but we just want you to be aware and have that first alert just in case you think, oh, we're completely dry everywhere the rest of the day. Again, this is not much at all, but we still did want to show it to you just so that you know that that's what's going on out there. And you can see a wider view shows the showers from yesterday continuing to move further off towards the east, but again, it's just a little bit of a disorganized pattern that we've got going heading into this afternoon. And so that's kind of what we're dealing with here on our Tuesday. But again, not too many weather worries out there. Numbers have climbed back into the upper 60s. Cold water is at 70 degrees, and it is possible, as you see in Howell, Owasso, Marshall, a few places 1 degree shy of that mark. They could get there in the next hour or two, but I think most of us will stop around 69 or so degrees today before we stop in the mid-60s tomorrow, and that's because we're going to have that northwest wind, and you can see where the cool air is. It's only in the low 50s 50s up in the UP, and even colder north of Lake Superior. That's where we're dragging down our overall flow. And so we do expect it to be a bit cool for the next couple of days. It's at least compared to normal. We'll eventually get those 70s you see to the southwest back in here in time for the weekend. And so that'll bring us some comfort headed into our Friday and Saturday. But a quick look at the hour-by-hour forecast here. Again, you see it right there. Just a few of those light specks kind of here and there. Not really amounting to much of anything, to be honest, but we just still want to keep it in the forecast here through the evening. We're quiet headed after dinner time and overnight. And while the model here tries to bring in a light shower tomorrow morning, I think for pretty much all of us, this is another one we should avoid. It'll probably be a few early pockets of fog, maybe a couple of low clouds. After that, will be partly cloudy late in the day, but tomorrow's highs with that north-northwest wind, they're going to stop in the mid-60s. And so that's about 10 degrees below normal for the time of year. It's still a fairly enough pleasant day, especially with the sun poking out in the afternoon, but it is one that'll feel a little bit more like a early October kind of type feel, I think, around our area tomorrow as we settle into that type weather. Now, as we get out further into Thursday, you'll notice more sunshine comes in, but the overnight lows are cool, and numbers are going to go deep down into the 40s, I think, on a couple of the next few mornings. And so it will be a little crisp to start, as I mentioned. Thursday afternoon, I do think with the sun and a shift in the wind, we should get numbers back into the upper 60s, maybe a few folks near 70 again. If we don't do it Thursday, Friday and Saturday both look like mid-70s high days, and so that's pretty good. And that's not it for the warmth that we're going to have coming, because you'll see in the 10-day forecast here, again, shedding those few showers late today, that we bring back some dry weather for the second half of this week, and that holds true through the first half of the weekend, including Michigan State's football game against number 8 Washington, which is taking place at 5 p.m. on Peacock on Saturday. After that, a weak disturbance comes in, and on Sunday, I think it's another kind of gloomy day. I think yesterday or even this morning before the clouds broke. I think that's how most of Sunday looks, with just a few showers. It's not an all-day big heavy rain, but it'll kind of be pesky at times, and a small slight chance of one of those showers to linger into Monday. But next week, for the middle of the week, it does look like we're going to bring the mid to upper 70s back, and so that'll bring us back just a slight warm-up, and I can't completely rule out maybe someone getting to near 80 degrees at some point in the middle of next week.
That made our meeting so happy.
It did.
Well, it was a split. It was kind of a split.
Sure, and I know it's a tear, right? Because some people are sort of ready for that fall weather right now, which is acceptable. We've gone through quite a bit of the summer season here, but people love to hold on to it too, especially as you get near the end, because you know once it does cool down past what your liking is, it's not coming back for several months. And so I think the people who are holding on to it, I see you, I hear you, my wife is the same way. And so that's kind of what we're looking at here. But it does look like a pretty good forecast by September standards. Just a little bit of cool weather here, again, these next few days. Another way you can kind of visualize it is our temperature trend here. Average high is normally 75 right now, and we'll get back to those numbers again Friday and Saturday. But it'll be 3 cool days, today, tomorrow, and Thursday, and then same for Sunday and Monday. But next week, middle of the week, if you're still trying to hold on to some of that kind of late summer style warmth, that's what we've got. And by the end of that 10-day temperature trend, we're going to be getting dangerously close to that first official day of fall. And so it is creeping up here. The official summer season has only got a couple of days, 2 handfuls, or a little more than that of days left, and then we'll be certainly firmly into the fall season. For many folks, the season kind of runs to Labor Day.
Yeah.
Right? But officially, it'll start September 23rd, and that's when we'll kick that off.
To me, I try to hold on to summer just a little bit, even though I love fall and I love Halloween.
Sure.
I try to at least stretch summer through most of September.
Yeah.
I'm not a Labor Day and summer kind of person,
Of
because like you said, I know that we're going to have months of very, very cold weather on the horizon. Going back to the last one really quick.
10-day forecast.
Yeah. Can we just take a look at Sunday? Sunday. That's going to be later in the day into Monday, right? That rain chance?
Well, on Sunday itself, so Saturday, here's the thing. Saturday night, we're going to get a little bit of a disorganized low to move our way. That could bring us some showers as soon as maybe late Saturday night going into Sunday morning. But It does look like there is probably a bit of a dry period in the middle of the day Sunday before a few more showers return late in the day. So it's a little bit up in the air, especially, of course, since it is still 5-6 days away from now. So it's bound to change, even if only a little bit. And so be sure to check back in with us on the First Alert Forecast look. I'd say right now it does look like the weekend, for the most part, is going to be dry. We just do have a few opportunities that'll creep in, all dependent on the pattern. And we'll have to see what happens with our high-pressure blockage of Hurricane Hurricane Lee out in the
that's
ocean
right.
as well, because that's actually going to play a big part. The air that'll be over us these next few days, depending on how quickly it moves east, is going to play a big part in how quickly or what direction that hurricane is able to go in. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in First at 4. We've got actually some interesting graphics on it.
Well, as you're planning your weekend, maybe you want to know how long you should stay at the Michigan State game with the rain chances, or maybe you're trying to plan something for Sunday, going out to the apple orchard and really welcome in fall. You want to make sure that you have got this in your pocket, not just a phone, not just a smartphone, but a smartphone with the First Alert weather app.
Which, of course, is the best way to get all the mid-Michigan weather information you need. It's completely user-friendly. It's got all sorts of wonderful features that we're updating constantly. We're talking every meteorologist on staff several times a day so that it's always got the latest information. You can bet that if you look at it and see one video a couple hours later, you're going to see a new one because we're constantly putting those up. It's absolutely free, both in Google Play and the App Store, so it's great to have.
All right. Well, you mentioned you're going to be back at 4 o'clock, and here is what else we are working on coming up, starting with First at 4. The impact that bedside manner has on the healing process is extremely important, and our Marine Holiday looks into that. At 5 o'clock, as we showed you earlier, just about 2 hours ago or so, Tim Stout is going to be talking about the press conference held by Harlan Barnett. He is the acting head coach of Michigan State University's football program. His press conference lasted about an hour, and some pretty good information that came out of that was that he spoke with a lot of the players individually as he's taking on this new role for the meantime, plus his admiration for Coach D'Antonio came up quite a bit. At 5:30, we're going to look at the potential UAW strike and the impact it could have on suppliers. And at 6, we are looking at the Prescription Drug Affordability Board that is being proposed by Michigan legislators. So we have all of that coming up, and like you said, you'll be there right after Studio Time, which airs at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Taylor will be back here.
Yeah.
And she ran out really quick. I think she went to Michigan State really quick.
She's continuing to work hard with the rest of our team on our 90 Minutes of News. Got a nice story coming for that, and so
We got a lot.
she's out taking care of that as well. So we hope you'll join us, of course, for all of those.
You can watch on air, online, and all streaming platforms too. So that's pretty cool. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We will see you later.